From time to time, we are confronted with an individual who has worked in an industry where they've been exposed to unsafely to chemicals or other poisonous substances. In fact, you'd be surprised how many workplaces are inundated with dust fumes, vapors, or gases that are emitted from hazardous substances. And a lot of times, you have no idea you were exposed to these chemicals until somehow you start feeling sick, or you develop a rash, or you don't know what's wrong. And the next thing you know, the employer is trying to tell you, well, you must have a cold. You must have gotten a flu. This has nothing to do with work. And you ask them, what were you exposed to? And all of a sudden, you get these quizzical looks on their face. The number one toxin that men and women were exposed to in the latter half of the 20th century and into the 21st century was asbestos. Shore Levin knows a lot about these exposures because we litigated these cases. Again, the same kind of stonewalling took place from asbestos manufacturers and employers and their insurance carriers. In fact, this litigation is still ongoing. It started in 1971. It's still ongoing. There's no end in sight. In fact, it's hardly a day goes by where you don't see some kind of ad on TV for a disease called mesothelioma, which is an asbestos-caused disease. Only asbestos causes it, and it's uniformly fatal. But there are other substances that can affect you on the job, especially if you work with any kind of dusty material. The general overall disease is called a pneumoconiosis, and pneumo means lungs or air, and coniosis means dust caused. So it's a dust caused disease from breathing silica dust, from coal dust, or from any kind of dust that is emitted in the workplace. This takes the form of difficulty in breathing, catching your breath or being short of breath, and obviously it can lead to some of the more serious illnesses, including cancer. In fact, in Pennsylvania, under Section 108 of the Workers' Compensation Act, there are listed hazards of working with dangerous substances. Among them is another substance that we're seeing more and more of lately is benzene. This is a solvent that's used in cleaning equipment in all sorts of other ways, and it's you can't really smell it all that well. You don't even know you're exposed to it, and a lot of times if your employer hasn't told you, next thing you know, you're out seriously ill with some kind of liver problem or worse, and the employer just shrugs its shoulders and you're left to fight for your own. Finally, there is a series of diseases which people have difficulty pronouncing. They're called AMLs. They're acute myelomonocytic leukemias, including non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Hodgkin's disease, multiple myeloma. We hear about these diseases today, and they were rare years ago. It's because of the delayed reaction that these chemical exposures have. Somebody could be out of the industry for 10, 15 years. All of a sudden, they come down with Hodgkin's disease, and the doctors will say, well, you're just unlucky. I've heard that. I've heard doctors express that. You're just unlucky. We don't know what caused it. Well, they don't know because they didn't ask what you were doing 10 or 15 years ago or longer. You might be working as a custodian somewhere and not exposed to these dangerous substances, but you were 10 or 15 years ago, or even while you were in the service or something like that. So it's a hidden epidemic. It's devastating. And again, it's something an experienced workers' compensation lawyer can help you with.